Hello. All right. Old school movie reviews. This one I'll come clean. It's not an old school movie. This is Ultraviolet. I think this came out a few years ago, 2005 or 2006. This stars Mila Jovovich and let's see here, Nick Chunlin is the bad guy. I think that's how you say his name. And William Fichtner. William Fichtner is this character actor who's been a million and five movies and TVs. You know, he's one of these guys that's always either the best friend or the second lawyer or the wife's ex-husband. He's always one of these people where you go, "Hey, it's that guy." So he's in it. This movie is a little. Well, let me see if I can explain it. Basically, it's set in the future, and the idea is Mia is a person who's been affected by some sort of biological weapon or some sort of virus, and it turns her into this kind of superhero vampire type person. She's got super strength, she's really fast, and she's got fangs. They come up with a term of it in the movie, but I can't remember what the term is off the top of my head, like the hemophobins or something like that. And anyway, this virus has affected, lots of people in the population. So what the government says, the government more or less establishes martial law, dictatorship, or whatever, to to control everyone and to essentially go after the mutant vampire type people, but it's really to gain control of the population. Mila has she's been fighting against the government along with other underground guerrilla fighters and so on and so forth, and that's pretty much the setup. At some point, Mila steals what she thinks is a weapon, but the weapon is actually this little boy. And at first they think this little boy is a carrier of some sort of disease or whatever. And, we kind of learn things aren't quite what we think they are. But, the military is trying to get the boy back. The other mutant vampire people are trying to get him. And Mila's trying to protect the boy. And she's also supposedly dying, so the conflict becomes, can she save the boy, defeat the bad guys before her time runs out? This is a it's a solid, B flick. That's how I would describe it. When it came out, I really don't remember it getting a lot of good reviews. I barely remember the reviews at all. I think it might not have even been previewed for the critics or whatever. But it's not an awful movie. It's actually kind of fun if you don't take it too seriously. You just go in it, just to have a good time. You'll probably enjoy it. Lots of good, fun action scenes. Lots of good hand-to-hand combat type stuff. Lots of goofy gun shootouts. Few big action set pieces. But it's lots of fun. It's really slick. It's really stylish. Kind of sub-Matrix-y, but once again, not to the point where it's a rip-off. There's a couple scenes that are kind of absurd and over the top, but you buy it within this universe. I mean, there's a reason why she's able to do certain things that would be impossible to do in the real physical universe. Matter of fact, one funny thing that I'll give away is she's able to pull out weapons out of nowhere, and they do give an explanation about how she has this gizmo that lets her do this, on a technical level or whatever. But really, it's funny because it's just it's Bugs Bunny, Whenever Bugs Bunny back in the 40s would pull out a mallet or a frying pan or whatever. She has Looney Tune powers. I'm just kidding. I would recommend this flick to, anybody who likes solid B movies, It's not going to change the world. It's not The Wild Bunch. It's not John Woo. It's not Sam Peckinpah. It's not quite. Well, maybe it is kind of the level of a decent, Jackie Chan flick. You're not going to go out, you're not going to finish the movie and think any deep thoughts. You're not going to want to go home and hug your family. You're not going to be thinking about, the military-industrial complex. But you will say, hey, let's rewind that and watch that scene where she kicks that guy in the chops. So yeah, I would recommend this flick to anybody who likes, superhero movies. Anybody that likes a solid action flick. Uh, one thing about that, one of the opening credits, there's lots of scenes of artworks that are fake comic book covers, imaginary ultraviolet comic book covers as they, bring up directed by, produced by, so on and so forth, which kind of sets you into the mood of, well, this isn't a serious science fiction flick, it's not Cities of Men or anything like that. It's just a good time, looking good, kicking ass, taking names. What else can I say about this movie? There's some decent special effects. It's kind of a lower budget flick. I think it only cost like $30 or $40 million to make, which is kind of a low budget for a big special effects flick. But most of the special effects are pretty solid. It's visually arresting, and there may be one or two scenes that have semi-shaking CGI, but for the most part, it really holds together well. So that's about it. Like I said, it's just a lightweight movie. Nothing too deep. Hey, please, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think I'm right. Give me any recommendations or anything like that. Thanks a lot, and you have a great one.